What's up, guys? It is a bit chilly out here today. It's a beautiful day, tons of sunshine here in Portugal, but wanted to get out here and give you guys a quick review of my Triumph Tiger 800 and just tell you how much I absolutely love this bike and why I think it is one of the most undervalued bikes on the market, especially for the used market. These things are pretty cheap considered what you get with these bikes. I've ridden a lot of motorcycles and I'm about to tell you why this is one of my favorites. So this bike has been super reliable. Love this thing. I've had it for about a year now, and so this is a bit of a long-term review, if you will. The 800 has been super reliable. The only thing I've had to do to this thing is oil change, and I bought this thing used. This is a 2011 model, and when I bought it, the fork seal on the right fork needed to be replaced. No big deal. I had them put new brake pads on there when I took it in as well, so it was about 300 euros all up. Not bad at all in my opinion, and they did it in 2 days, so super fast. It performs well. It's got the triple engine in it, which is really fun, really punchy. It's got, like, as soon as you hit that throttle, I mean, I'll give you a little show here. I'm gonna come around here. I've got one thing that is interesting about the Triumphs is you do have to, even when you have it in neutral, you still have to hold in the clutch as you start it, which is something I've never experienced before. So give me just a sec here. So as you can see, bike starts right up. You didn't get to see that, but I'm gonna give you a little throttle. I mean, it's just got all that power right there in the beginning of the throttle. You don't have to really wait for it or rev it up too high. So that's something I really like. The engine's really punchy. I'm used to riding 1200s, 1250s, BMWs, and a couple different bikes. I grew up on dirt bikes, and I had a Harley for a while. So I had an 1800 Harley. It was a 1800cc Harley engine, S&S engine. And man, this thing's super punchy. Being an 800, I thought I was going to be disappointed with the power, but man, it just really performs. So had to move things inside because the construction workers outside have no mercy on me when it comes to me filming this video. So anyways, just gonna continue taking you around the bike. Okay, so love these heated grips. Heated grips are great. You know, you've got your high heat, medium, and off. I will say, I mean, even in the winter, it's winter over here in Portugal right now, I'm still riding with my summer gloves. They're Revit, they're like half leather, half textile. You know, they've got ventilation in them and everything, and I'm able to ride with those just with the heated grips on. If it gets really, really cold, like at night or something, I will take my gloves and put like another layer of gloves underneath them, but for the most part, it's been amazing. The heated grips are really good, so thumbs up on the heated grips on this bike. One thing that I absolutely don't like about this bike, and I've got a couple, I do love this bike, but there's a few things, a few bugaboos, right? Of course, the Triumph luggage. You know, it's got this weird thing where it's supposed to move. I don't know if you can see, like, both sides move. KTM does that as well. The top case does it as well. It's just kind of weird to me. I don't like that. I'd rather have something fixed. It just doesn't seem stable to me. And of course, you know, these saddlebags came with it, but I would love to have saddlebags that open from the top, because as you can tell, whenever you're opening these and whenever you close these, there's always something that is down in one of the sides or across the top or down the back, and it's always catching when you're trying to close it, and you have to, like, just make everything fit just perfect and then get it in there just right and then slam it shut, you know? So that's one thing. If you're gonna go with panniers, man, and you have the money, do the upgrade, get I like aluminum cases. You know, you have the flip top at the top. You can just drop stuff in there. I've ridden with those before, and they're much, much nicer. So definitely go for that. Let's talk about headlights. Triumph did an amazing job. One of my things that I hate the most in motorcycles is when you turn them on in the daytime running lights, you only have one light on. It just looks unbalanced to me. Maybe it's my OCD. I just don't like it. Triumph, I'll give this a little turn on so you can see what it looks like. All the time you have those two lights on, and it just looks really good. I love the look of these lights, the stock lights, and they're just amazing. So I have yet to turn those. I do also have the Denali D4s on there. I'm going to trade the main headlight out for some LEDs as well, so that matches. But yeah, I do a lot of night riding. This is my everyday driver, so I do ride this quite often. I have a car as well, but I ride this most of the time because it's more fun. So the Denali D4s absolutely work incredible. I mean, these things are just like riding in the daytime. I live a little bit further out in the country here in Portugal, and so these things come in really handy. I bought these little extra mounts. These, I forget what brand these are. If you really want to know, you can message me and I'll look for the brand for you. But the Denali mounts that are like this are actually like 80 bucks. So I got these off-brand ones from Revzilla, and this video is not sponsored by Revzilla. I just really like them, and yeah, they help me really, really well. The customer service is awesome. So these things were like 30 bucks, these mounting brackets, and then I just got them for the size to go on to my heat crash bars, and it works perfect. You know, since I already had the heat crash bars, there is another mounting system you can get that kind of goes up underneath here, and it basically hooks across like this. But since I had the heat crash bars running through here and connecting, sorry for the focus issue, since I did have the heat crash bars, you know, going through here and connecting, I didn't think that I was going to be able to also put that other mount on here. So that's why I opted just to mount the D4s directly onto the crash bars. So if you want to see a video or have any tips and you do order the heat crash bars, these are incredible, man. They completely changed the look of my bike, and they made it just overall look a lot beefier. You can see this is what it looks like when you're riding the bike. So definitely beefier. My legs kind of fit right in there. I love that they go down low and they just kind of cover everything. And then from the front, you can just see, man, it just really beefed up the bike. And especially with the Denalis on there, it just adds that extra little touch. You're like, okay, this bike looks sick, right? And of course, you're supposed to love your bike. You're supposed to love your machine. You know, if you don't turn around and look at your bike when you walk away from it at the end of the day, it's the wrong bike for you. So every single time when I park this thing in the garage and I go inside, I turn around and give it one last look, just because I love looking at this thing. Look-wise, if I was gonna change anything, I'd put the beak on here. Triumph has a beak you can put on there. This is the road edition of this bike. This isn't like the XRX. So the XRX comes stock with that beak that comes out a little bit further. So I think for 125 euros or 150 bucks US, you can get that beak and just put it on there. I think it'll make it look a lot better. So another thing that I did, of course, I've got my quad lock on here from my phone. If you're not using a quad lock, man, these things are incredible. I've also got the attachment for the inside of my car. So I have that in my car as well, and I can just put my phone in there, twist it, and it works great. So yeah, that's excellent. Definitely go with the quad lock. I think it's one of the most secure solutions out there, and it's something you can use if you're using your bike every day. It's just really convenient. Something I didn't like, since this is the road edition, and honestly, like from a BMW to this, the handlebars are not as wide on this as they are on the BMW. You know, this feels a little bit more almost dirt bikey, I guess. I do prefer the wider handlebars, but for this bike, I've learned to love these. And something that I did, instead of always being leaned over so much to kind of come to the front of where the handlebars are, I got the ROX Risers. You can see them right here. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Anyways, the ROX Risers, they're incredible. They're super easy to install. They say online that you need 2 people to install these things. I did them by myself. I will say it took me about an hour or hour and a half to put these on, just because it was my first time really doing anything to the bike when I did put these on. So my mechanic skills are very low. But you know, after you get the hang of it, watch some tutorial videos, it's really easy to put on. They just slide right in here onto where your handlebars were. You can see this is the old system. They were down here, and these are the 2-inch risers. I love the ROX Risers because you can actually bring the handlebars up, not just up, but back towards you. So that's really, really nice. I would always, probably every single bike I have from now on, I'm gonna put the ROX Risers on there because they're just absolutely incredible. They bring those bars back to you just a little bit more, so you don't have to lean forward. And it just gives you that feeling of like the bars are presented to you, and you know, you don't have to worry about leaning forward so far. This is the higher Triumph stock, the factory windscreen. You can get a smaller one and then a taller one. This is the taller edition. I will say it doesn't block all the wind. I still get quite a bit of buffeting on the highway if I sit up straight on the bike. So you can just see it there. But for the most part, it gives you pretty good wind protection. I do think I'm gonna get a little extender and just put it on there, and that should take care of everything because it's not really too much. If I lean over just a little bit, no wind whatsoever, but you know, I do need to kind of slouch over a little bit, and I don't like to slouch. I wanna be able to sit straight up and be comfortable.
I definitely opted to go with the Triumph Comfort seat. Triumph Comfort seat's great. The regular seat is atrocious. It's absolutely terrible. I don't like it. It's too tall. I like to sit down in the bike, so I actually went for the lower seat height, and I really, really like it. I'm 6 feet tall, and it suits me perfect. My legs still are comfortable and everything, good positioning. I didn't really feel too much of a leg comfort difference between this one and the high seat. So definitely go with the Triumph Comfort seat. I did it for the pillion seat as well, so that's a bonus. Good job, Triumph. So I do absolutely love this bike. It's great for zipping in and out of traffic because it is an 800. I thought with the triple that it was going to be a bit top heavy, but it's not. It actually is really great. Holds his weight a little bit lower. I will say that it is a little bit more top heavy than something like a GS, with the Boxer engine. Of course, like a 1200 GS or GSA, or even the Super Tenere 1200, that holds its weight pretty low. So you can feel it a little bit more in this, but it's not that big of a deal because it is a lighter bike. So if you're thinking of getting an adventure bike and you want something cost effective, but you want something that is also going to perform great for you in the long run and you're not going to get tired of it super quick, definitely go with the Triumph Tiger 800. And even the older models, they hold up really, really well. And I've had this thing for a year, absolutely love it. Plenty of power for me. I can go on touring trips and still be really, really comfortable. And look, I think this is one of the most underrated adventure motorcycles on the market, and the price for these things, if you look at the used market, is incredible. So you can always put a lot of features on this thing, and honestly, I would put this right up there with Honda and Kawasaki as far as dependability. I mean, these things are awesome, and if you disagree with me, that's okay, but this thing's been great for me. And I really, really think it's underrated as a good, dependable adventure motorcycle for a great price because it is undervalued in the market, like I said. So if you're looking for something that is a budget adventure motorcycle, this should be your go-to. I would definitely buy this again. I'm even looking at, my plan after this was to go to a GS or a GSA, and I actually think that I might opt to go to another Triumph. Checking it out, but I like what the 900 has to offer, and Triumph has some really cool features on the newer bikes. But man, can't beat this for the price. If you're looking for a budget adventure motorcycle, I think you got a winner here.